Hello everyone, welcome. I don't know. I hope this is loud. Okay. It should be fine like this, right? Anyway, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by to watch me. This is Daisy, okay? My name is Adeze. You can call me Daisy. Anyway, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the fact that there are a lot of prisoners in form of foreigners. Okay, there are lots of foreigners in prison. Okay, that's the topic for today. And in today's video, I'm going to be inserting real life. Okay, I'm going to be inserting a real life story into what I'm about to say today. So now, my major concern when I wanted to make this video, actually, when I thought about making this video, what actually inspired it is the fact that when I look at the life of foreigners in Brazil, when it comes to the criminal justice system, when it comes to the prison system, I kind of like feel very sad because unfortunately a lot of foreigners are in prison. Okay, and this is due to their bad choices, the choices they made. Okay, not because any woman just wanted to put them in prison. And I don't know, I'm trying so hard to think about how to make this video. My concern is particularly focused or targeted towards my Black African people. Okay, because I don't know, I'm concerned about other people also from other countries, but the truth is that each time I think about this situation, my mind always goes to foreigners from Africa, like blacks from Africa, and I kind of like have sympathy for a whole lot of them in the prison right now. I'm going to be centering my my talk today on the fact that unfortunately a lot of foreigners go into peddling of drugs. That's why I always tell people, if you cannot grow slowly in Brazil, if you feel that you cannot grow slowly in Brazil, it's best to go to places like America, Canada, UK, Germany, Denmark, all these type of countries where you can get a job easily. Okay, or where you can get a job that brings enough money. In Brazil is for people that are willing to grow slowly. Okay, so that you don't get here and then you don't struggle to get a job, or you don't struggle due to learning of the language, because you need the language to get a job. You can get a job, but you need to learn the language, so that you don't struggle when you get a job and then the salary is very low, and then you start looking for ways out, like ways to break out of the poverty, ways to break out of not having enough money. You have to think twice. Can you live here? Can you live in Brazil? Can you grow slowly? That is the question. Because if you're not ready to grow slowly, don't move to Brazil. Go to other countries, okay, that you can find a job easily, and then you can find a job that will give you the type of money that can sustain you, sustain your family, and grow you faster. Now, like I said, I'm going to be adding some live situation into the situation now, into my story today. Now, like I said, when I checked when I checked online to see the rate of black people in prison here in Brazil, I figured, when I googled, I figured that 69.1% of blacks are in prison in Brazil. Now that is approximately 70% of the people in prison in Brazil are actually black people. Do you feel me? Do you understand where I'm going to? So now, if approximately 70% of people in prison are blacks, what does that tell you? Remember, we don't only have blacks in Africa. We have blacks that come from the Caribbean. We have blacks that come from the whole of the Americas. We have blacks that come from now Africa, and we have blacks that still come from different continents, but particularly the Americas and Africa. We have a whole lot of black in these two regions. So that tells you a whole lot. Now 70% of black are in prison. So that means a portion of that 70% comes from Africa. A portion of that 70% also comes from maybe the Americas. Like I said, I'm very, very concerned for my black African people. I'm concerned about other races as well, but I wouldn't lie. Particularly, my mind goes straight to the blacks, whether African, whether from the Caribbean, whether from the Americas, whether from anywhere. My mind goes straight to them because we have more of them in prison here. Now, unfortunately, a whole lot of them come here and they lack patience. Like I said, they lack patience to learn the language, to get a job the normal way, to grow slowly, and then they dabble into drug peddling. And a lot of them don't even live here. They come from wherever they come from. They try to bring it in, and then some live here, and then they try to take it in and out. Now, I'm gonna put some like I said, real life situations into this. Now, when I was coming to Nigeria when I was coming from Nigeria in 2022, there was this guy I met in the plane. Okay, I didn't really know him. I didn't know him, but when we got here, myself, one other lady, a Nigerian, and him, we ended up, talking when we came down from the plane when we arrived in Brazil. So we collected each other's number, and then we stayed in contact. So, but every time this guy would call me, every time he would call me, he would say, I'm in Ethiopia, I'm in Nigeria, I'm in this today. Every week he was always having one thing or the other to tell me, he's here, he's there, he's here. Then I didn't really understand it. So one day I asked him, come, I'm struggling to save money for one trip. You have gone to Nigeria and Ethiopia how many times again? So I asked him, how do you do it? Then I didn't understand why. So that aside, it was later in life that I got to realize, while I was living here, I got to realize that when you see people going back and forth like that, this week they are in Ethiopia, the next week they are in Nigeria. If they keep telling you they are in Nigeria today, this week, that, just know that they are drug dealers. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to say anything more. So the only thing that can take a foreigner or somebody from here back and forth almost every week, leaving Brazil, out, in and out, is only if you peddle drugs. So when you meet somebody like that and that person tells you, I'll be in Nigeria next week, next 2 weeks I'll be in Nigeria, or I'm in Nigeria today, I'm in Ethiopia tomorrow, or I'm in Asia, just know they're peddling drugs, and do what? Stay away. Draw your ears and do what? Stay away. So when I figured along many months later, while I was living in Brazil, I figured from people's experiences here and there that when they keep going in and out like that, they are carrying something out, they're carrying something in. I just removed my hand from that guy. I blocked the hell out of him, and I stayed away completely because I didn't know for a long time, and I was his friend for a long time. Not really friend, because after the day we met on the plane, I never saw him physically, but we were always talking on phone, like, Norma, hey, how are you doing? Or on WhatsApp and all of that stuff. I blocked the living hell out of his life. When I figured out later, not from him, from my life experiences later in Brazil, I overblocked the number. I don't even know what the number ended with or begins with. I just blocked everything, and that was the end of that, friendship and all of that stuff. So now I also remember when I went to do my passport in 2023, I went to renew my passport, and there was this lady I met at the Nigerian embassy. In Nigerian embassy in Brasilia. That's another city. So we were doing our passport thing. So when we were all done, we now decided to take the same transport back to Sao Paulo because it's in Brasilia, another city. So when we were on our way coming, we started talking about different things, trying to get to know each other, saying one or two things here and there. And then along the line, I know we didn't say anything pertaining to what she brought up, but from nowhere, she just started talking, my husband, my husband went to prison. I didn't ask her anything. We didn't say anything related to prison. We didn't say anything related, because if it is me that my husband went to prison, I will not talk. It would die with me to the end of my life. Not even my family will know. So when she started talking, my husband went to prison, I was like this, in my mind. My husband went to prison, I didn't ask her any question, or she was just If it's me, I can never, because I love my respect too much. I would cover my man up like I would not even marry a criminal in the first place, God knows. But if mistakenly I already married him, I didn't know he was a criminal, I would not say anything. I would tell him to stop being a criminal. If he doesn't stop, I pack my bag, I go. Continue to be a criminal, but nobody will hear from my mouth that I once married a criminal, to be honest with you.
I will cover him up, cover myself, or respect myself, but I'm definitely leaving him if he doesn't stop criminality. But if he stops criminality, I'm definitely going to forgive because I'm not Jesus Christ, okay? So now when she was talking about my husband went to prison, I'm like, it was mistaken identity. They just grabbed him for for the powder thing. He said they arrested the husband for the powder thing. The husband went to prison. She's not very well educated, so to her now that story makes sense because maybe that's what the husband told her, or maybe that's what she just prefers to believe. Because most of these people, their wives do know about these things. When you see a man that peddles drugs, believe me, that the wife knows about it. So maybe she wanted to tell herself that lie, or she wanted to just bring up something to tell me as a story because I didn't even ask her that in the first place. And they arrested him. He was in jail. He said, and then and now told me, but look, it was mistaken identity. It was mistaken identity. That the name of the person and her husband's name was mixed up, and then they arrested her husband instead of the person that actually perpetrated the I said, So Brazilian police now, that's stupid. Do they look like Nigerian police to you that don't know anything? They don't know the meaning of investigation, not to talk of forensic science. And I was looking, but I didn't say anything. No, she just told me, it was mistaken identity. So I said, how long did it spend? And she said 4 years. I said 4 years, and for 4 good years. I didn't say this to her. I'm telling you now. For 4 good years, Brazilian police are so stupid that they didn't find out the real person. They just kept the innocent man in prison for 4 good years. 4 years. And they are so stupid like Nigerian police. They are so dumb that they don't know their work like Nigerian police, that they kept an innocent man in prison for 4 years. The Brazilian policemen are good. So there is no way they will keep an innocent man for 4 years in prison and not realize that they mixed up his name. So I really feel that the lady thought I was a dummy. I really feel so, that she thought I was a toy that she was talking. Toys don't have brain. So I feel strongly that she thought I was a toy just standing there like this. Anything she says is correct. So dummies, anything we tell them they accept, because they don't know anything. So anyway, I didn't say anything. I didn't tell her, I didn't say nothing. So it was mistake. I said, oh, people are all right now. He said, okay, they are fine. So that's another life situation. And the funniest thing is that one thing she told me was that, it was when the guy was in prison. It was when the guy was in prison that, they had their baby. They gave them conjugal rights. Like she would always go there. They would have their conjugal rights as husband and wife. And then that was when she got pregnant for a baby and all of that stuff. And I'm looking at it like, what? Let me sit properly. Conjugal rights inside prison. I know about conjugal rights because I studied criminology and security studies, so I know about all of this. But I'm looking at myself like, can I really go and do conjugal rights inside the prison? Me that shame will kill me. I'll go and do conjugal rights. Then by the time I get there, on the day they schedule me, they already scheduled me for conjugal rights. I want to go and have my conjugal rights with my partner in prison. They already scheduled that, and on that day I arrive, and then I enter, and already in my mind I would already be feeling guilty and ashamed of my life and my destiny, because already I already know that the people there that I'll be meeting, the police and everybody are already looking at me like, wow, she has come here to enjoy. You see that shame? God forbid. So conjugal rights inside prison, that is one of the consequences of being a criminal. When you become it is very difficult to be a criminal. I don't know how people get into criminality, to be honest with you. I have zero tolerance for criminals. Zero. I don't have mercy on them. I don't have pity. If you steal somebody's thing, go to jail. If you kill a human being, go very long. Don't even come out, because you will be somebody's neighbor when you come out, and you can easily kill somebody. You can waste somebody's life again because you have done it before. It will be very easy for you a second time to do. So I really don't know why they release criminals. And the funny thing is that criminality here is very soft. When you commit any crime, they give you small sentence and then you go and come out. The one that even hurts me is those people that waste people's lives. What is the point of letting them come out? They even give them time to come out to enjoy maybe every weekend, and then they go back into prison. The person who has died cannot come and do vacation here and go back to heaven. That one is finished. So why are you giving the people that wasted them small sentences, and then when they're inside the prison, the opportunity to come out every weekend, to come and play outside and then return back inside? They can equally waste people's life while they are outside on weekends. It's easy for them, they've done it before. So I really do not understand the criminal system here and the sentences they give to them. It's really very crazy. I don't support the short sentences they give to criminals here, but that is how it is in Brazil. They don't punish you to the end of your life, but then the sentences are too small. You can keep it on an average now. Don't let the person go too free, but then don't make it too hard, something like that. But anyway, there's another situation where I asked, there's this person in my building. Somebody told me, oh, do you know Mr. Nnamdi has gone to, mind you now, this thing I'm talking about, peddling drugs and all of this thing, it happens, many nationalities are in there. South Africans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, just name it, Kenyans, a whole lot of people from the Caribbean, from the Americas. They are in form of the black people now I'm talking about. They are all in the prison. Now my problem here now going back to the conjugal right thing, now I'm going to the prison to go and do conjugal right. We all know that conjugal rights are meant to be inside and private. Nobody should know that you just pounded me as my husband, and nobody should know that I just pounded you as my, you just pounded me as your wife, and I just pounded you as my husband. It's supposed to be secretive. So a situation where I'm going to the prison to go and do conjugal rights. So the whole world already knows that is one of the consequences of being a criminal. If you become a criminal, you go and do conjugal rights inside the prison. And funniest thing, in some cases, they don't even give them conjugal rights. So that means you guys will be apart for years. You will not do conjugal rights. And then if they give you conjugal rights, then you go and do it in prison. The whole policeman, they would know, and the women, they would know that, wow, you're going to do, no gosh, I can't take it. So I can't even be a criminal because it's very difficult to be a criminal. It's super difficult, more difficult to be a criminal than to be a straight person. Anyway, so now let me talk about another real life situation where in my building, somebody told me, because I don't go out. Once I'm in my house like this, it will take you a long time to see me outside, except I go and pick my daughter, come inside that thing, or except I want to go to the supermarket, and I always buy things in bulk, so I don't have to go out all the time, or except maybe I schedule a day one day I want to go and buy African food. Once I go that time, I'm buying like in bulk, like like Nigerian food worth of 300 reals, like, so that I have so much I don't have to go very quickly again. So I'm always indoors. So anyway, this my neighbor told me, do you know Mr. Nnamdi has been arrested in 2023? I'm like, arrested? What happened? He carried powder and then they've arrested him. I'm like, oh yeah, they arrested. And that was how I knew they arrested that guy. I'm like, that quiet man, very quiet. You can never suspect anything. And then they arrested him, and then he went to prison. But all of a sudden, one day in 2023, I just saw him. I saw him in my compound. I'm like, okay, good afternoon, sir. How are you? How are you? He greeted me. I'm like, how's Nigeria? What do you want me to say now? It's been a long time. We saw him around our neighborhood. So will I say, well, how is the prison? I will say, how is Nigeria? I just framed it up like I helped him to do as if he traveled to Nigeria. So he said Nigeria is fine. He said Nigeria is fine. It's okay, no problem. I'm like, I didn't say any other thing like that. How is Nigeria? He said Nigeria is fine. So before I knew, Jack Robinson, and the funniest thing, once they're out like that, what happened is that he was on bail. What I'm trying to teach you now is the consequences of being a criminal. That is just the topic of this video. If you're a criminal, you will go to jail. And then I'm trying to let you know that a lot of them are here in this Brazil, in front of our black people, in prison. And I don't like it. And that's why I am making this video. If you are a criminal or planning to be a criminal, you need to stop. That is it, period. I don't have pity for criminals. That is the truth. I only have pity for normal people. Now, this man now, before I knew, so when he was on bail, like, the reason I saw him outside is because he's on bail. And then all of a sudden, because when they're on bail like that, they will keep going somewhere to sign something every Monday, every month. I don't know where they go. There's a name they call the place. They have to go sign to show that they are still present, they are still in the country and all of that stuff. So, but all of a sudden, before I knew it, pam, 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 it didn't even get to 2 months. Pam, pam, pam. Somebody told me again, I think the same person, do you know Mr. Nnamdi has followed the back road to go to America? That was before Trump came in. No, this was towards the end of 2023 now. This guy, was it 2023 or 2024? I think he eventually made it 2024. Yeah, 2024. He went in 2024 to America by road, following the back door. And this is a criminal. You see why I tell you that there's no need to release them? Because when you release them to come and have a small holiday outside, they can escape. And then they have not served their sentence. And then they have not received their punishment for what they've done. The thing they carry up and down, the powder, you are destroying people's lives.
by distributing this powder everywhere. Come to Brazil, you'll see them on the streets. We're going to treat that topic in another video. There are so many of them on the street, you're powdered up and all lives destroyed. Thanks to people like this. And then you'll be releasing them for what? That bill, they don't even deserve it. So anyway, he escaped. He went 2024 last year. Remember I said they arrested him in 2023. Part of 2023 he was in prison and then he was released on bail. Part of 2023 and 2024, boom, he ran to America by road. Do you know now that that guy now is a problem to America, not to another country? Anyway, now he's still in America. Now he should be facing Trump's administration. I don't know what the situation is, but from the last thing I heard, I think he seeked asylum in oh God of mercy, criminals. He seeked asylum in America. And the funniest thing is that he had this 10 years Brazil residency. What should he have done? He has lived up to many years in Brazil, yet he still didn't get his citizenship. What he could have done is get his citizenship, yeah, get his passport, and he can go anywhere he wants to go if he likes. But the problem is, even if they go anywhere else, they will still go and be criminals because they already have the criminal mindset. So to cut a long story short, that 10 years he has now is a waste. So you label, you get PR in Brazil. PR in Brazil, you go and waste it all because you follow the bar. Because he doesn't have any record of exiting in Brazil. He didn't follow the airport, so he's not documented that he left Brazil. Okay? So there is no record of him leaving Brazil with that PR. So he followed back door to go to America. So that's the record he has now. And then that 10 years now is finished. It's destroyed. So you come to Brazil, get PR, and then you destroy it in that manner. Instead of you to just work on your citizenship and then live a normal straight life, get a job, learn the language. Anyway, it's not easy, like I told you, to be a criminal. I'd rather be straight. I'd rather manage the little that I have than try to be extremely rich and spoil my name, spoil my career, spoil anything that I have. It will never happen. I can't be a criminal. It's better to be a poor person, manage your life. You can't be poor. Average, if you work hard, you can't even be poor. The highest thing you'll be an average person in the society, but you can feed, you can eat, you can sleep somewhere, you can wake up. Man, hard work pays. Anyway, so that's how that story, that guy's story is. So this last person I'm going to be talking about is actually my barber. So the last time I went to cut my hair, I think that was about last month. I went to cut my hair, and then when he was cutting my hair, he cut this hair actually. When he was cutting my hair, I don't know why people have loose mouth, because if it's me, I don't know how to talk anyhow, honestly. While we were talking, we were just laughing. He's a Nigerian and all of that stuff. He was cutting my hair, and I don't know what we were saying. Because normally, okay, this is what we're saying. Normally, when I meet people, especially my African people, I used to ask them after greeting each other and all of that. So the first thing I do ask is, after we've greeted and all of that, I'm like, how many years have you been here? If they tell me, 15 years, 20 years and all of that stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, so now have you gotten your citizenship? That's the first thing I usually ask. And I know you see someone tell me, and I'm like, why? What are you doing that long? 15 years, 20 years, 10 years, what happened? And then that was when I got to know that, once they do all these things, when they do all these powder things and they are caught and they are arrested, it hampers the process of their citizenship. Okay, so now then I asked this particular one. So he told me he's been here for 8 years and all of that stuff. And I said 8 years. Oh, you should have gotten your citizenship by now. He was like, no. I'm like, why? He was like, I got into trouble. I'm like, okay, it's okay, I understand. Because I didn't want him to embarrass himself. Because if it was me, I can't even say that about myself outside. So, but he wanted to keep talking. I'm like, it's okay, I understand. He was like, no, it's okay. Like, he wants to talk. I'm like, you want to talk? He said, because I understand. I told him, because I do understand where you're going. It's okay, I understand why. He said, no, it's okay. So he continued talking to me like he went to jail. And he went to prison. And because he carried this thing and then So he's waiting. So now he's also into the process of going back and forth to sign and sign, and then to be sure that he's in the country and all of that stuff. And just to let you know, it takes a couple of years for you to be able to keep signing. And the good thing about Brazil is they are so lenient that even after you have carried that thing, you go to prison, they still pardon you. Man, this country is very nice. They are very nice, because if you carry rubbish in other countries, you cannot get their citizenship again. Never. But in Brazil, they still pardon you. They wait for you to be sober to correct your wrongs. You continue to go there and sign every whatever day they give you. You be on probation. You show that you have changed for a couple of years, and then you go to court. They see you. Yeah, I don't know whether you plead for mercy and all of that stuff, and then that's it. You return back into the society. They wipe you off your record, and then you begin life again. Are they not just nice? Even though me, I don't support it. If anybody carries any rubbish, if you carry powder, because you are destroying people, you're killing. You know how many people you've killed by carrying that powder? They are not supposed to be allowed to get any citizenship again. If you want to be lenient to them, give them small sentences. It's okay. But citizenship, this thing, you are still pampering criminals. But anyway, that's the way Brazil is. Brazil is very, very lenient, very kind to people. So anyway, they still allow them after a couple of years. And but it takes years, like up to 8 years, 10 years. And you have to have a clean slate. You have to continue to go and sign, appear somewhere, signing. Is that not bondage? And that is why I told you it's not easy to be a criminal. Don't commit crimes. Stay straight. Manage your life. Me, I don't know how to borrow. I manage whatever I have. I'm very satisfied, contented with anything that I have. I don't borrow, and I don't look into people's life to say, oh, look at the way this person is. I don't want to be like you. No, I want to be like myself, and I want to grow however I can grow. Yeah. So when I was talking to this guy, because the guy, he cut his hair before I left. He cut the guy's hair so nice. Mine was just low cut, so I couldn't see his skills. But the guy was before me, so the guy, so nice. I asked him a question like, why? Look at how talented you are. I said, when did you know how to cut hair? He was like, since. I said, so since before you carried drugs? He said, yeah. I said, so why didn't you concentrate on this, master it? This same shop you have now, do it before you can. He said, because if they offer you big money, you cannot resist. I said, me, I can resist it too, because I don't like criminality. He said, you've never seen money before. I said, me, I've seen money now. But this type of money I'm talking about, you don't know. I said, no matter the money they give me, I don't like to be a criminal. I would never. They say, okay, maybe. I said, because of the kind of home I come from. And apart from home, even people from good homes end up bending and then going the criminal way. I said, no matter the situation, worse, I can never be a criminal. No, nothing can entice me. He was like, okay, maybe you come from a good. I said, yeah, I come from a good home. And then me personally, I am very, 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 very disciplined to my own self, not just what my parents taught me. I can never be a criminal. It will never happen. Then I'm going to be doing conjugal rights in prison. No way. It's not possible. And the whole world will know that I just finished doing conjugal rights. Nah. So then that's just it. And then when I asked him, why you're so talented, look at the hair you got, so nice, why you go this route? And then he now looked at me, was like, oh my god, are you my mom? You just sounded like my mother. I'm like, okay, I'm your mother, that's the way I am, but you better take me like that. So anyway, that was just it. So I advised him. I said, please don't go back anymore. I told him how long is left now for him to finish his probation and all of that. I said 2 years. I'm like, please, after these 2 years, don't ever in your life go back to this. He said, no, I will never go back to it anymore. He was like, okay, and all of that. So I told him, because their wives used to know about it. I said, when did your girlfriend know or your wife know about it? He was like, when they arrested him, he had not married his wife. It was after he came out of prison, he married his wife. And I said, does your wife know your story? He said, yes, she knows my story and all of that stuff. And yeah, the guy really cuts very nice hair, but because of they cannot stay one place, thief. And I asked him a question. I said, how many times did you go? I said, couldn't you have just stopped when you were seeing that money? Couldn't you have just stopped at some point? He was like, no, the money was so sweet. You can imagine them giving you 8 million for one trip. I said 8 million. And after 8 million, what else? I know it's a lot of money and all of that stuff, just to go one trip and come back. Do you know what it means to be at the airport and you're sweating in your pants like this? Your legs are shaking like this. Do you know the fear they have when they want to pass the airport with those things inside of them? Me, I cannot be a criminal. That is why I tell you, it is more difficult to be a criminal than to be any other thing positive. I'm telling you. So anyway, that is just it. And he told me, and I told me, how many times did you go? He told me he went 11 times. I said, so number 10 was not enough for you. You still had to go number 11. And if they didn't catch you number 11, you would have still gone number 12, number 13, number 14, number 15. Greed. So they caught him on number 11. So the consequences now is he's serving his probation out, signing and signing. He has been signing for the past 6 years, so it's left for him to sign 2 more years now, and then he'll be free. And then I think they'll wipe off the system, they'll wipe his case, which I don't think they should be wiping any criminal's case. Criminals should be recorded and registered. I don't see why you are already giving them lenient sentences, small sentences for big crimes. Why wipe out their history? People should be able to Google and see them that they are criminals, or maybe ex-criminals, but at least they were criminals. So I asked him, how many years did you spend in jail? He told me 4 years. They don't give them more than 4 years. Go to other countries, they will give you 20 years, your body will be alright. Some would even waste your life. Criminality doesn't pay anyway. So I think I'm going to stop here. The lesson of this message is stop being criminals. Grow slowly. If you're in Brazil, learn to grow slowly. Be contented with what you have. I don't know how to borrow. I don't know how to beg. If you give me something, I don't ask you, I'll tell you to keep it if I don't need it. And whatever I have, I know how to manage it. I don't do more than myself. I cut my coat according to my size, or I cut my material according to my body. anyway, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll definitely see you in my next video. I hope you've enjoyed this. Still, please stay away from trouble, stay away from criminality. I have zero tolerance for criminals, and I hope you will not be one. And if you're planning to be a criminal, please think again. Okay, have an amazing day. Bye.